I am referencing George B. Dyson's Darwin Among the Machines, the Evolution of Global Intelligence. He talks about Samuel Butler. In examining the prospects for artificial intelligence and artificial life, Butler faced the same mysteries that permeate these two subjects today. I first asked myself whether life might not, after all, resolve itself into the complexity of arrangement of an inconceivably intricate mechanism, he recalled in 1880, retracing the development of his ideas. If, then, men were not really alive after all, but were only machines of so complicated a make that it was less trouble to us to cut the difficulty and say that that kind of mechanism was being alive. Why should not machines ultimately become as complicated as we are? Or at any rate, complicated enough to be called living, and to be indeed as living as it was in the nature of anything at all to be. If it was only a case of their becoming more complicated, we were certainly doing our best to make them so. These questions can be distilled into one essential puzzle: the origins of life. We wanted to know whence we came, that germ or those germs of life which, if Mr. Darwin was right, were once the world's only inhabitants, asked Butler. They could hardly have come hither from some other world. They could not, in their wet, cold, slimy state, have traveled through the dry, ethereal medium which we call space, and yet remained alive. If they traveled slowly, they would die. If fast, they would catch fire. The only viable answer without resource to some higher being, at variance with the whole spirit of evolution, was that life had grown up, in fact, out of the material substances and forces of the world, as life might once again be growing up out of the material substances and forces of machines. Butler. Although multimedia communication has so far neglected our sense of taste, Butler got the rest of his idea right, anticipating modern purveyors of global networking. He presented his vision in terms of the content to which people would subscribe and locally understand. He knew that the development of telecommunications, facilitating the exchange of intelligence among human beings, brings with it the exchange of intelligence among machines. The drift of his thinking and the unspoken secret that he hinted at may be detected in a later comment that the component cells of our bodies unite to form a single individuality, of which it is not likely they have a conception, and with which they have probably only the same partial and imperfect sympathy as we, the body corporate, have with them. Samuel Butler died in 1902.